Hey, this is Splatterhead.
And this is Fitz.
And you're listening to the Fan Club Blitz.
All right, people, we're on a countdown. Raider season begins 65 days and approximately 9 hours to kick off.
So you're listening to the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz, and we're going to talk about fan clubs of football teams who live in areas maybe 3,000 miles away from where their team lives, or in the towns of division rivals, places where you may not feel welcome, kind of like us, right?
Right. New Jersey, Oakland Raider fans, although the reality is there's the Oakland Raiders and all the other teams in the NFL, so everybody should actually be a Raider fan. Otherwise, you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't want everybody.
Yeah, that's true. We are very selective. We have a selective group of mental patients.
That's right. So if you're in a fan club or a booster club and you want to promote your club and get your name out there, reach out to us, and we'll go ahead and maybe set up an interview, especially if you're a Raiders fan. Or maybe if you're one of those teams that are playing the Raiders this year, that might be fun to do.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And especially, like we said, fans like Giant Fan Club in Philadelphia, Oakland Raider Fan Club in Denver. We like the animosity and big rival.
I'd say a Jets fan club in Miami, but I don't think that. Are there any Jets fans?
Does the Jets still have a team?
I think actually in this bar outside of this is probably more of a Jets friendly. I see more Jets fans in here than Giants fans.
There is true. I saw like 2 Jet jerseys last season, and that's not including one of our members' sons who unfortunately is a Jets fan. We're not going to mention any names. Don.
2 of her sons.
That's not good.
Both of them.
You got to step up, Don.
I don't know where they went wrong.
Too much embalming time. Not enough rearing the kids on proper football team time.
That's right. Well, Don's got 2 sons as well that are Raiders fans. I coached them in football.
Okay, so 50%, you can't go wrong there. Yeah, you could, but we can always strive for excellence.
Right. So anyway, that's kind of the outline of the show, and we hope you guys will tune in. We think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Few teams were ever as intimidating as the 1976 Oakland Raiders, and their hardest hitters were Jack Tatum and George Atkinson. The Raiders' hardest hitter was the assassin, free safety Jack Tatum.
Tatum's shots sounded different. Most guys tackle, and you hear shoulder pad, there's a certain sound you make. But a Tatum tackle was like a car wreck. We used to keep score for 1 point for a limp off, and that would be semi-concussion-y when they'd go off and stumble around and stuff. But a knockout was like Tatum's specialty. Jack would come up with the head under the chin. The guy'd be gone.
I've caught receivers looking for me instead of looking for the ball. If you can get a receiver thinking about you, but then he can't be concentrating on you and the ball at the same time. Consequently, sometimes he may drop a few.
Both Tatum and Atkinson deeply resented the Pittsburgh Steelers' attempts to portray them as criminals.
Take a guy out of a ball game. if they feel he's going to commit these type of acts.
The Steeler efforts succeeded in making Tatum and Atkinson notorious on an international scale.
Been labeled as the criminal element of the game, which is, I think, unfair. I saw J.T. Thomas hit Ken Anderson out of bounds after play. The coach didn't label this as being dirty. He said that he was aggressive. I've seen Mel Blount hit Cliff in the back of the head. I've seen Jack Lambert grab fellas by the face mask, but you can break a fella's neck. This is considered aggressive play as far as Pittsburgh is concerned. You know, when we play aggressive, we get labeled as dirty ball players.
It was a job the assassin and George Atkinson did well enough to reach the top of the football world in 1976.
Number one, world champs. World champs.
All right, Fitz. So, how long you been a Raiders fan?
Oh, God. Has to be now 42 years.
Yeah, how'd that start?
Because thankfully in New York, New Jersey area, the Raiders were always the afternoon game on TV, plus always on Monday nights. And I just remember one of my first memories as a very young child was seeing Ken Stabler's hair and beard. And I was just fixated, besides the awesomeness of the black and silver uniform. It just drew me right in.
Nice. I was a kid, and I lived in Berkeley, California, which is like right next to Oakland. And we're driving around with my stepdad, and I saw the Coliseum, and I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, that's where the football team plays. I didn't even know we had a football team. I'm like, what team's that? He's like, the Raiders. I'm like, I didn't know we had a football team. He's like, yeah, we have two. I'm like, who's the other one? He's like, 49ers. I'm like,
the right answer was, who cares?
Even as a 6-7-year-old kid, I knew we don't live in San Francisco. That's over there.
Absolutely. Far over there.
The cool thing is that season, the Raiders went on to the Super Bowl to play the Eagles and kick the snot out of them. And I have never looked back.
I remember that Super Bowl well. That was I remember sitting in the same spot on the floor, leaning up against my couch, and I wouldn't move because obviously if I moved, they wouldn't have won because they were doing well where I was sitting. So I can't move, so I had to stay in the same spot the entire game.
Yeah, right. It's funny how we all have our little superstitions. I don't know how many times I change my hat in each game. Just so this hat's not working. Changing the hat never works either, but I do it anyway.
Yeah, it's usually just like because they're playing crappy, but not in our minds.
So I've been out here for like 20 years, but, you know, and most of those years pretty dark for the Raiders. I mean, I was here for the last Super Bowl, which was dark and abysmal, and nobody wants to talk about that. I was here for the Tuck Rule game. My kids were frightened of me that night because I was in a rage. I swore I was never going to watch football again. And then of course the following season we started. You know, we did really well. Went to the Super Bowl and Chucky kicked the snot out of us.
Yeah, that was bad management on our part. I mean, nothing like not changing your game plan from the prior coach that you're now facing in the Super Bowl. So yeah, that was a preparation problem there, I think.
You think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Might have been a preparation problem. Well, a lot of problems with that game.
Yeah, that and our magnificent center went off the charts crazy while he was out there and was MIA for days.
Yeah.
Little forgotten Raider history fact there.
So, what was it like growing up out here as a Raiders fan?
I'll tell you what, it actually wasn't that difficult because there is a boatload of Raider fans out here. It's actually amazing. It's the more you talk to people, it comes out. Yeah, oh, you're a Raider fan? Yeah, I'm a Raider fan. You know, I walk around, even to this day. I was in the Acme the other day. Young kid checking me out. He looks at me and goes, yeah, I like your hat. I'm like, thank you. I go, we meet every Sunday at the Irish Cottage for games, so feel free. Yeah,
man. I'm passing out business cards all the time. It's funny because, like, like I said, I grew up in California, and it's a different experience being a Raiders fan on the West Coast than it is being a Raiders fan out here because, like in Northern California or even in L.A., if you see somebody with a Raiders sticker on their car, you don't chase them down and make eye contact and you'd never get where you were going. But out here, we see Raider fans and we're, it's automatic. I got to go talk to that guy. I got to reach out to him, and it's a different experience, it's still cool for me. And obviously, I'm from, I still have California in my blood. I'm still wearing we don't wear ankle socks in California, so I got my Cholo tights on. Got my Dickie shorts, my Cholo tights. My wife still makes fun of me all the time, but you can take the boy out of California, but you can't take California out of the boy.
That's right. You can't deny your roots. But it is funny, though. You said we chase people down. We see some with Raiders, and people we don't even know. We're inviting them to hang out with us the following weekend. We have no idea what kind of mental patient we might be talking to, but we're like, yeah, come on down.
Nah, but it's a given that there's some kind of mental patient. They've obviously got problems, which is cool.
Yeah, because we all do. They fit in perfect. I always say, whenever somebody joins our group, they come on our Facebook page, so-and-so is here. Chuck is always like, welcome. And I always follow up with, welcome to the circus, because that's exactly what we got here.
That's right. And speaking of our group, I guess we should talk about that. We are an official chapter of the Black Hole Fans, which people ask, are you guys affiliated with the actual Black Hole in Oakland? And yeah, that's an actual club. It's not just a bunch of crazy people that sit in the end zone. It's a worldwide club. We got chapters all over the world, Mexico, Germany, all over the States, and we're in your house, man. We got the Black Hole in Denver. We got the Black Hole in New England. Our feet are on your couch, and we're pretty proud of that, which is a good, runs right back into the theme of this show. But if you're in an area, look up the Black Hole. Go on the website blackholefans.com and go ahead and check out where the chapters are. You might find that there's one by you. And if there's not, maybe you got a bunch of friends and you want to start one up.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's an awesome group, and it really makes the experience awesome. And like Chuck could attest, we both were at the Christmas night game in Philadelphia, Raiders, Eagles. We hooked up with the Black Hole group from Philly, and it couldn't have been a better experience. Great group of guys. They took us right in. It was one of the best tailgates I've ever been to in my life. It makes for a great experience.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Mike and the Philly chapter of the Black Hole. Great guys. We're going to get Mike on the show, too.
Absolutely. Awesome group of guys. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had at a football event ever.
Yeah, it's a blast. And, even going to, it's a lot of fun to sit around and watch the games at home and, yell at the TV and all that stuff. But when you can get together with a group in a bar, I think in Philly they meet up at Mike's place. But if you can get together with a group of people, it's an experience that you're just not going to have. So look up booster clubs, man. Look up fan clubs, whatever team you're into. I think there's booster clubs out there. Even the Cleveland Browns have a booster club.
Yeah, for both of their fans, they have at least one booster club for both of their fans.
Absolutely, and I actually have a little bit of respect for those two guys.
Yeah, you know what they do? They hang in there.
Two girls.
Yeah, they definitely hang tight. You got to give them kudos.
Also, we have a third wheel on this show, don't we?
We do. And the third wheel, that's understatement.
Right. And Tom's going to actually have his own segment on the show that we're going to throw in here. But I think, for episode 0, we should probably, get Tom on the mic and talk to him about his fandom and his experience as a Raiders fan, too. So let's
absolutely
let's do that, too.
Because, you know what, not for nothing, I mean, Tom is that's what epitomizes an Oakland Raider fan. Everything about him.
Right, and this club just wouldn't be a club without Tom, right?
Absolutely, because you know what? As crazy as we all are. He just takes it right to the next level where it should be.
Right, and he's still going to get his segment later today too. But all right, let's talk to Tom. All right, Big Tom, tell us a little bit about your fandom.
My fandom of the Raiders. Well, I go back. You're looking at like 44 years of me being a Raiders fan. I don't know if I might actually be the senior member of our club. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, you might be.
Might be. My deal goes back all the way to the 70s, the great Raiders-Steelers battles. Had a lot of people that loved the Steelers. Always had football on in our basement. Never dug the Steelers because the whole basement was full of black and gold. Not me. I went with the guys in the black and silver that were, fighting it out.
Plus, they were kind of trying to steal our shtick anyway.
Yeah.
That's where the Steelers name really comes in, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to be the Raiders.
Yes. And that's just, didn't work well with me, I've got to watch every single Super Bowl they were in, including the one you got to see, which
Absolutely.
They were the first wild card team to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. 2002 killed me against Chucky. My brother-in-law, who's a big Cowboys fan, we were at the local firehouse, had our box in the game. We were ready for the big money. And Gannon threw that pick with 10 seconds left? Killed us.
Chucky's on the sideline. Keep passing it.
Yeah.
Keep throwing the ball.
Yep. Killed us. I think we lost, probably $3,500 we lost that day.
And a piece of our souls.
And not for nothing, I still want to punch Gruden in the face.
I know, but how do you feel about having him back?
I'm not going to comment on that yet. I'm not going to comment on that yet.
All right. Let's wait till the season starts,
Yeah, we're going
right?
to wait till the season starts. I'm going to wait and see how it plays out.
That's how everybody asks me, how do you feel about your draft picks? I'm like, I don't know. Give me 4 or 5 years and I'll tell you.
Yeah. I kind of like the second round, third round guys better than the first round guys. I'm more excited about them. I hope. What's the guy, the offensive guy, the offensive lineman we drafted?
The first?
In the first round.
Yeah, what's his name?
Well, all I know is I hope he takes care of the Broncos guy that they drafted first round, because that's going to be the battle for the next 10 years to come.
Well, yeah, but let's see if he even, how soon do we even see this guy on the field outside of preseason?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
What is that? Colton Miller? Is that his name?
Yes,
Something
Colton
like that?
Miller, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't get excited about that stuff.
No.
I very rarely do these draft picks come in. I mean, we've had some luck with Mack and Carr, but it takes time for these guys to develop into NFL players.
I got real excited about Joseph.
Right.
But he hasn't really lived up to my expectations yet. I don't think any other Raider fan expectations either.
No.
For the big hitting safety he was in college, he's not exactly showing that yet.
No, but there's still some, like everybody says, there's we had a little, lack of management last year, and lack of coaching and development, and so now let's see what happens. We'll see what happens with some of those guys, even Joseph, some of the guys that had potential that we were happy about that we just never really saw much of. I mean, we did see some sparks. There were a few things there, but we need more than sparks. I mean, obviously Raider football, as we knew it as kids, is never coming back again.
No, that's not. No.
But
I mean, I wish it would.
Oh yeah, me too. But Raider football of the future is what we have to look forward to, and let's hope that it's all good. All right, Tom. It's good to shoot the crap with you.
All right.
And we're going to get you back on the mic a little bit later for the Truth with Tom.
Okay.
The autumn wind is a pirate. Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sack.
Okay, I'm here at the Irish Cottage, which is our home base for our Black Hole Raider group, and I'm here with one of the owners, Mr. Damian Ryan. Damian, what's it like having a bar in New Jersey that has such a rabid Raider fan club group here?
It's pretty cool. I remember first when I think it was Chuck called me up and said, that he's a local guy in the area who follows the Raiders, and he was interested in coming to the Irish Cottage to watch games on a Sunday. And I was like, sure, no problem, come in and meet me. And he came in and met me on a Tuesday night. And one of the staff, I happened to be in the kitchen, one of the staff came in and said, there's two scary dudes looking for you at the bar. So I went out, and sure enough, it was Chuck and Andy. Andy, yep. And two of the nicest guys ever. And I was like, yeah, and they told me the whole story of the thing, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to have you here on a Sunday. And I'll give you this corner down here. And I'm saying to myself, we'll get 4 guys. Well, we'll get these 2 guys and maybe 2 more, I was thinking. Where it's now built to, Sunday afternoons there with like 40 people, men, women, children, real family event. And all the locals here love all the guys, and they just fit right in. And it's a really good, fun family atmosphere, And who guys are just passionate about football and passionate about the Raiders, So it's neat.
Great, and we can't say enough about how awesome this place is and how you guys treat us. We love it here.
Oh, thank you.
Most of us are regulars here, regardless.
Absolutely, yep.
But we just anybody that's never been here, I suggest if you're in the area, come here, get something to eat, have some drinks. It's a great place, great atmosphere, great food, great people, great service always.
Thank you. Go Raiders. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right, this is a little segment that we like to call The Truth with Tom. And eventually what we're going to do at the end of this is I'm going to put out a phone number. Some of you can call up. You can leave us voicemails about anything you want, but if you want to hear some brutal, honest truth from Tom, go ahead and leave Tom a message on that voicemail.
Yeah, feel free to ask a question, man. I'll answer it.
All right, Tom, I'm handing it over to you.
All right. Well, for my inaugural segment here, I'm going to give a shout-out to the Great Plains Rumbling Raiders Booster Club in South Dakota. It's come to my attention that Tommy Boy is in Montana with his family. And I think it would be nice if you guys took maybe a drive over there to see him and brought him a couple of dozen, glazed donuts. Because you know who else likes donuts? The bear Tommy Boy was putting on Instagram the other day. Tommy Boy and bears, yeah, they kind of go together. So might be our way to get him out for the season, Him and the bear eating glazed donuts. That's what we want to see. It's up to you guys to, see what you can do. Let's get a backup in there. Maybe, maybe the Dolphins can move up a couple of slots this year. So, I don't know. That's about what my segment is this time. I will have more as we progress. But right now, that's it. So be hospitable hosts up there in the upper Great Plains. And show Tommy Boy some love. And give him some food to feed his pet bear. All right? Later. Talk to you next week.
All right, so everybody listen to what we're calling episode 0. I don't know why they do that. All the podcasts they start at episode 0.
Yeah, which is weird. And you know what? Unofficially, we're going to look at it as episode 00 in honor of the great Jim Otto.
Uh-oh. We're approaching Raider Fan Radio territory.
Well,
we can't name our episodes after players or
no, it's just in honor of. Well, okay, so it's episode double knot.
All right. Murph, we're only doing this one time.
It's hard to take. You can't take the Raider out of the boy.
So we're glad that you, we hope that you tuned in. We don't know if anybody tuned in yet, but if you did, we hope you enjoyed it. And we want to give a shout out to Murph and Murph's Fan Cave for hosting this podcast and putting out the other podcasts that they do. Over the last year, I've built a pretty good relationship with Murph and Sonny and Uncle Mosh, and Jeff from Dead Pirate Sports. I've become a real fan of the show. That's Raider Fan Radio is my favorite Raiders podcast, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. So when I found out that Murph was, creating his podcast network, I had this idea to do a Booster Club, fan club related podcast for a while, and I said, you know what, that's the team that I want to be part of, and I'm glad that that Murph was gracious enough to let us be part of Murph's Fan Cave.
Yeah, absolutely, it's awesome. And when Chuck approached me about the idea, it took me, I don't know, probably less than a second to say I'm in, because it's awesome and this is going to be something great, and I think everybody will enjoy it.
Yeah, we hope so. And if you don't enjoy it, you know what? That's your problem. We're going to keep doing it anyway.
Absolutely. And listen, like we said, it's about fan clubs, football. It's about the Raiders. But we're open to anything else. You know what? We want to know everything. We want to know, what music do you like to listen to prior to a game? Or
Motorhead.
Tailgating. Motorhead. What song best describes the team that you follow?
Ace of Spades.
There you go. But it's all open. We want to know what are your traditions, like your superstitions about you have to wear the same hat, same shirt, same jersey week to week, and if you do wear that and your team loses, now what? I mean, it's all open. We want to know everything about every fan everywhere in this country. Maybe not everybody, but almost.
Do you wear ankle socks or cholo tights?
We'll probably stop short of like the boxers and briefs or nothing at all question, but you know what? Who knows? That may be up there, maybe on a Tom segment. Like, ask me about what underwear I wear. I don't know. Nobody
wants to know what kind of underwear you wear.
Well, there might be somebody out there.
Somebody might. Nobody in this room wants to know what kind of underwear you wear. By the way, speaking of this room, I didn't mention that we actually record our podcast from the Irish Cottage Inn, which is the black hole in New Jersey.
Absolutely. It's our home base. We wouldn't have it anywhere else because, you know what, this is home for us. This is our home away from home, and sometimes it's actually better than our real home.
I can't say that.
I can. I'm not going to be in trouble for saying it, but I'm saying it anyway.
Okay, sometimes it's better. But you know what? Our wives are always here with us anyway because they're Raider fans too.
Yes, our wives are awesome because they have to put up with us.
Right. Absolutely. And that's a lot to put up with.
Yeah, it is. It is. They're definitely not normal people because normal people would have walked away from both of us years ago.
Absolutely. So anyway, we think it was a great inaugural episode, and tune in next time where we're going to talk to, we have a friend, Pat O'Brien, who's been here from day one. The minute that we launched this, before we were even a Black Hole chapter, when we were just a unaffiliated Raiders fan club, I think we were going by North Jersey Raider Nation or something. Pat was there day one, and he has, he's been here since the beginning, and he's also a Packers fan.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that, but it's actually fun. I don't know if anybody's picking up on the whole thing here. You have O'Brien, McCann, Fitzgerald, Irish Cottage. Just gonna throw just throw that out there for right now.
There might be a theme.
It could be. It could be because Irish are awesome, as are the Raiders.
All right, and then we're also going to talk to Liam.
Yes, that's my son Liam. We're going to jump into the future generation of black hole people. And, a young kid this day and age becoming a Raider fan in enemy territory. And we're going to see what that's all about.
Right, because when we grew up, the Raiders were feared, and the Raiders were winners. And Liam here has had to grow up when the Raiders weren't feared or even respected by many people.
No.
So in episode 1, we'll talk to Liam about that. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you. We'll see you next.
All right, this is Tom. I guess we're going to be wrapping up our show here. If you have any questions for me or you want to call in and talk about anything you want on the Raider Fan Club Blitz, our number is 732-798-0257. Feel free. Ask me about Mr. Skittles. I love Mr. Skittles. We're also going to give a shout out to the Irish Cottage, our home base. They are located at 602 Route 23 North in Franklin, New Jersey. And their number is 973-827-2090. And give us a call. Let us know what you think. Questions, comments, anything you want to say. Feel free. Talk to you next week. Bye. Good? Oh, I got it.